Silent कर देना. So good evening everyone. My name is Omkar. On behalf of Green Advisors, I welcome you all to the virtual roadshow of Yajur Fibres Limited. So today we will provide a brief overview of the company and its innovative business model. So Yajur Fibers Limited is a specialized textile fiber processing company focused on transforming sustainable bast fibers into commercial textile inputs. Its business spans fibers processing, yarn manufacturing, and selling to the industrial textile customers both in India and abroad. So from management side, we are pleased to have Mr. Ashish Kankaria, Managing Director of the company. Good evening and welcome, sir.
Hello everyone.
Mr. Dhruv Agarwal, Senior Manager Accounts. Good afternoon and welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. Good
From
afternoon.
from merchant banking team, we have Mr. Rajesh Sharma, Vice President of the company. Good afternoon and welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes. So before we start with the presentation, we will play a short corporate video of the company.
The textile industry is steadily moving towards sustainable materials. Manufacturers are looking for natural fibers that reduce environmental impact while remaining compatible with existing production systems. This shift requires not just raw materials, but reliable processing capability. Yajur Fibres Limited is part of the Kankriya Group, with a long-standing presence in the jute industry and nearly a decade of experience in linen. The company operates in the specialized segment of cottonized natural fibers. Yajur's core business involves processing natural plant-based fibers into cottonized fiber of short staple that can run efficiently on existing cotton and blended spinning systems. This enables textile manufacturers to incorporate natural fibers without altering their production infrastructure. The company supplies cottonized jute, cottonized linen, and cottonized hemp fiber solutions to spinning mills in India and select international markets, supporting applications across home textiles and apparel. Operations are supported by in-house process development, mechanical processing, and quality control systems focused on repeatability and performance. The company is led by Mr. Ashish Kankaria, Managing Director, who brings over 2 decades of experience in fiber manufacturing and operations. He is supported by Mrs. Shruti Kankaria, Non-Executive Director, and Mr. Pradeep Devnath, Whole-Time Director with extensive technical experience in the textile industry. The board is further strengthened by independent directors, Mr. Gaurav Bad and Mr. Rohit Bhura, ensuring governance, oversight, and strategic direction. Looking ahead, Yajur Fibres plans to expand processing capacity, strengthen automation, and continue developing cottonized fiber solutions aligned with industry needs. With a clear business focus and disciplined execution, Yajur Fibres is positioned to support the textile industry's transition toward natural sustainable materials. Yajur Fibres Limited, natural fiber processing for modern textiles.
So with that now, I would like to hand over the floor to Mr. Ashish Kankaria to tell us about the journey of the company and walk us through the presentation. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Omkar. Hello and welcome everybody. Good evening. I'm Ashish Kankaria. I'm the Managing Director at Yajur Fibres Limited. To introduce the company first, let me introduce the group to you. Kankaria Group is based out of Kolkata. It is an 85-year-old family business group. I am the third generation here. This industry house was started by my grandfather back in the day, and we are very grateful to his visionary leadership over the years. Kankaria Group today is one of the largest producers of jute goods in India. We produce over 650 tons of finished goods, and the group employs a little over 20,000 people. Yajur Fibres Limited is the fiber cottonizing and processing arm of the Kankaria Group. Next. Yajur Fibres Limited, though it was acquired in 1990, we started cottonizing the cottonizing business about 6.5 years ago. And prior to this used to be an old cotton spinning mill, which we, over the years, we changed to 100% fiber cottonizing and some linen spinning here. Today, Yajur has a capacity of a little over 4,200 tons per year, and this capacity we're looking to increase to a little over 5,000 tons post the IPO issue. The Yajur Fibers is spread across a land of 19 acres, with a large Ganges frontage of nearly about 800 meters. Today, we have the capacity or the land available to increase our capacities 5x from here, and which we envisage that in the times to come we'll be able to achieve. Right. Next. This is our A team. I am the managing director at Yajur Fibres Limited. Shruti Kankaria is the non-executive independent director. She also heads the sales. Pradeep Devnath has been with us for nearly 12 years. Before joining us, he was at senior positions at companies like Vardhaman and Trident. Gaurav Baid and Rohit Burar are independent directors. Gaurav has been a consultant for a little over 20 years, and Rohit has been associated with Raymond's for a little over 15 years and brings in a lot of technical value. Next. So what do? We cottonize fibers. This is what we are masters at. This is what we are very, very good at. What does it mean? When these long bast fibers like flax or which we often colloquially called linen, jute and hemp, these are long fibers. But when we bring them to start behaving like cotton and to start running in the cotton system, we call these cottonized fibers. Okay, why is it essential? Because fibers like linen, jute, and hemp are long staple fibers. They have a different set of machineries. The spinning process is similar, but the machines are much heavier and much slower. To give you an example, jute runs at about less than 4,000 rpm at the spinning level. Linen runs at about 6,000 rpm. On the other side, cotton can run up to 21,000 rpm. So it is a totally different challenge from running jute in a long fiber system to a cotton spinning system. And to be honest, it is a monumental achievement by Yajur Fibers to have achieved this. So Yajur at heart is an innovation company. That is what we are, and we continuously look to improve and improvise and better the existing natural fibers, so that we can blend it to a high content in the cotton spinning system. The beauty of what we do here is that these cottonized fibers that we make or produce, when blended up to say 50, 55, even 60% with cotton or polyester or viscose or acrylic, the principal spinning mills, they don't have to change a single nut bolt in their system. It runs seamlessly with the fibers that they're producing already. Next. This is us in a nutshell. We are working with 150 plus mills globally, with all the who's who of the mills in India, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and Istanbul and Turkey. We also export fibers to the company making the US paper for the US dollar. Cottonized linen fiber is used therein. Our fibers are used for technical textiles also. Apart from India, 80% of our market share is 80% of our share is domestic, and 20% is export. Apart from India, we have very large presence and very great brand recall values in countries like Turkey, Bangladesh, Indonesia, USA, Egypt, even Italy, and now we are entering the China market as well. To tell you how this company adds value is very interesting. Let's assume 21 count to be a standard benchmark count in cotton, right? Because 21 can be used for shirting, can be used for home textiles, bed sheeting, technical textiles, so on and so forth. Now, 2100% cotton is sold in the market for approximately 250 rupees, right? And here in the margin for a spinner can be between 4 rupees to 15 rupees, depending on company to company and their efficiencies, right? However, when you do a 21 count equivalent in 100% linen, this price goes up to 2000, 2200 rupees a kg. Linen is the most expensive fiber in the world, right? So what we did, we figured that there were two essential problems that we had to address for this industry to grow, for our company to grow. Number one, cotton is the most unsustainable fiber. Number two, linen is the most expensive fiber. So we had to bring in sustainability. We had to bring in, a way where linen fibers can be used to make shirts or upholsteries or home furnishing, but at affordable prices, right? Now the trouble was that linen runs on a heavy spinning system at speeds of only 6,000. Cotton runs at about anywhere between 13 to 22,000. There are in total about 40 linen mills globally. 80% of the production happens in China, 15% in India. Excuse me. While there are about 40,000 cotton spinning mills, right? The challenge was vast, but this is the area that we had to bridge to grow our company. So what we did was we innovated these linen fibers, to a point where it started to spin at 11,000 RPM. And today, proudly, our fibers, whether linen or jute, we spin it at up to 16,000 RPM, thereby reducing the loss in productivity for a cotton spinning mill. And what happens is that, this 2,000 rupee 100% linen fiber, when you blend 55% linen with cotton, this price comes down to less than 500, which means a 75% discount on top, right? And that is the major reason why today that you would see in local departmental stores, local retail stores, all the way up to the Zara, H&M, Armani's of the world, you would see linen blends, in their shelf, either for dresses or clothes or in home textile, right? So when you see a linen blend, a fabric or a finished product, essentially that fiber is coming from us. And that is how we've been able to grow this market in India. Okay. Now, earlier, before we got into this industry, the Europeans were supplying these cottonized linen fibers into India. And at that point of time, there were only about 3 to 5 mills who were doing this production. And at very low speed, about 7,000, 7,500 to 8,000 RPM. And that is why the business was not growing, because most of the cotton spinning mills was producing at 13 to 16,000. So when we started at 11,000, a lot more mills started to join this bandwagon. And plus, every time you had to order from Europe a full container, it would take about 6 to 8 weeks for the fibers to come, and you couldn't order less than 10 or 20 tons. On the other hand, we had a turnaround time of 2 weeks, right? It is important because companies like Zara give, their suppliers a turnaround time of 45 days to supply the garment. So 2 months or 6 weeks or 8 weeks is a very long time. So 2 weeks is what our turnaround time was. Plus, because we are local in India, we started supplying smaller quantities also, 500 kgs to 2 tons to 5 tons to mills, so that they can start their trials and get used to the spinning system. And that is how we grew this market over the last 5 years. Yajur today is a very heavily complied unit. We import all our fibers from Europe, the linen fibers. Jute fibers we procure locally from Bengal. It is grown in the nearby areas where we are. We are Ocotex 100 certified. We are ISO 9001, 14,001 and 45,000 certified. Next. So this is how we craft perfection. Yajur, when I say innovation is, the way of life at Yajur, we take it very, very seriously. And this is exactly that goes through every of the 50 professionals that we have on board. Innovation or improvement in fiber quality is the most important fundamental that we work with. So everything we do is around that. And this is how we process. We disentangle, clean, unclump, intermix, staple, and then paralyze the fiber to work it out. Now, to tell you how innovation has worked here is, in cotton spinning system, the micronaire of cotton or the thickness of cotton is about 3.5 to 4. In linen, it is about 15 to 17. In jute, it is almost 23 to 25. Okay. Now, jute is 12 feet long, 25 thickness. It's impossible to run in a cotton spinning system. But our modified and proprietary tech has brought these thick fibers from 25 to 6, from 15 to 17 mic in linen to 6, and thereby these fibers are now more spinnable. They add more value, more strength to the yarn, and can run very seamlessly in the cotton spinning system. Next. These are our large product profiles. Most of our business comes from cottonized linen, then cottonized jute. We do blended yarn, and we do 100% dry spun yarn. 100% dry spun yarn is an important sector for us, though we produce about 60 tons per month and close to 700 tons annually. But this has given us immense experience in the 100% linen yarn market, which we are going to foray post the IPO. We are investing close to 48 crores as capex into Yashoda Linen Yarn Limited, which is a subsidiary of Yajur Fibres Limited, wherein we will get the whole benefit of the supply chain. We know all the suppliers for linen fiber already, but because of doing dry spun yarn for the last 10 years, we also know all the yarn buyers and the weavers who are into this industry. Next. These are some snapshots of the unit. On the extreme top left is how the flax fiber bales come from Europe to us. The center top picture is the admin building at Yajur Fibres Limited. Top right is how the cottonized fibers look like, bleached and the natural version. Bottom left is how the fibers come out in a web form and through various stages of process. Next is the 100% dry spun linen yarn of what we produce is used mostly in carpets and home furnishing, because dry spun, when I say, it's coarse yarn. When I say wet spun, it is fine yarn which you use for fine shirting, bed sheeting, and dress material, etc. The machine picture you see is something that we have done over the last couple of years. We spent a lot of money on automation, and it has yielded us tremendous results, and that's why it's the highlight here. And the bottom right picture is how we pack our goods and we sell, whether domestic or exports. The packing is the same. It is an international standard of packing that we do. Next. Like I said, Yajur is committed to automation and to continuous improvement in terms of material handling also. With all our automation systems that we put in place, we've reduced labor. The productivity has increased, right? Less man handling has resulted in better quality of fibers. The fiber rupture or damage has gone low. Our productivity has increased. The overall costs have reduced. But the most important gain that we have received after automation is that compared to the industry average, we now get at least 4% extra yield, from the fibers that we produce. And it is a very big number, because our fibers are usually sold around 550 to 600 rupees a kg, and that 4% adds a lot of profit, and that is why you'll see that our numbers have been very good over the last couple of years, and hopefully in the future as well. Next. This industry is growing very rapidly, so we're looking at almost 18 to 20%, 21% CAGR that the industry has been growing. We are looking to add more capacities. We'll be by September 2026, we will be at 5,000 plus tons per year capacity, which we are looking to build on very quickly, because there is going to be a sudden surge in the demand for these fibers, because sustainability has become a key underwriter for all global textile companies, whether it is in denim or terry towel or home textile or apparel or anything wearable or display. Right. Today, cottonized jute has been accepted by a leading denim manufacturer in India, up to 30% blend in denim, up to 20% in terry towel by the leading towel manufacturers in India. Right. It is already in the home textile space, domestic and international. Also, some of our large retail clients are now ready with almost 30% jute blends in the apparel section, right? And to be honest, when I see some of these jute cotton blends, even I can't distinguish whether it is a linen cotton blend or a jute cotton blend, because the expression is so similar. and except that jute is just much cheaper than linen per se. Next. So linen market is globally, the linen textile market is less than 1% of the total textile market, primarily because the linen is very expensive and the best quality linen fibers are grown in Europe. Europe is now has increased its production to almost 2.5-fold in the last 3 years. The demand for linen fiber is through the roof. In the middle income group also, the aspiration to own a linen shirt, linen dress, or linen home furnishing has now overtaken, the aspiration to own an iPhone, perhaps. And this is what we bought into the market: the affordability to own linen wear. Right. So if you're wearing a 55% linen blended shirt, you would think you're wearing a linen shirt. That is how good it really feels. And earlier, the linen shirts were anywhere between 5,000 to 25,000, depending on brand to brand. And you would see only Europeans wear these linen shirts back in the day, some 10, 12, 15 years ago. But today, you would see a lot of Indians wearing linen shirts or linen dresses and having or owning linen upholstery and home furnishing, right? And this is because now you can afford or you can buy a linen blended shirt from anywhere about, say, 800 rupees to 1,500 rupees also. Next. These are some of our domestic clientele. We work with who's who, whether it is Vardhaman or Aditya Birla Group or Mukesh Ambani Group's Syntex or Damodar, Pallava, so on and so forth. Next. Some of our international clients from Istanbul, Turkey, Indonesia, Bangladesh. Next. This is how we plan to, utilize the IPO proceeds. We are using 36 crores as working capital in Yajur. 48 crores we are doing a planned capex at Yashoda Linen, which is a subsidiary of Yajur Fibres Limited. Approximately 12 crores capex at Yajur Fibres Limited to, further boost our production capacity, and the balance in general corporate purposes and issue expenses. Next. So Yashoda Linen Yarn Limited is a subsidiary of Yajur Fibres Limited, like I said. And we have taken 35 acres of land in Madhya Pradesh near Ujjain. As it's a greenfield project, and we are setting up 100% linen yarn and linen blended yarn capacities here. This is in some ways forward integration for us as well, because the fibers from Yajur will be used here, and the byproducts of the 100% linen yarn will be used back in Yajur to be cottonized, etc. It is a project with very, very high potential. We have received, we will be getting more than 65% back in subsidies and incentives, which have been approved by the CCIP, which is the Chief Minister's Committee in MPIDC Madhya Pradesh. In total, we are going to be investing close to 150 crores in the first phase here. Now, we are going to be making 100% linen yarn, and the thing with linen yarn today is that only marquee companies are in this sector as of today. There are about 6 or 7 companies in India, companies like Mukesh Ambani Group's Syntex or Aditya Birla Group's Grasim, Raymond's, and so on and so forth. But having said that, 80% of the linen yarn manufacturing happens in China, 15% in India, 5% rest of the world, approximate figures. Today, India is still a net importer of linen yarn, despite the fact that there is a anti-dumping duty of approximately $2.4 per kg. So the potential is very, very good here. Next. Cottonized jute is the closest to my heart. Okay, this has been our, if you were to ask me what is the single largest achievement so far in the running history of cottonized fibers, it has to be cottonized jute. Now, we started back in 2020, 2021. Up until then, jute was always a packaging material, whether you saw it in sacks or bora, as we call it, or Haitian fabrics, or as a group, we are also one of the largest exporter of jute shopping bags. We export to a little over 30 countries, to all the large supermarket chains of the world, like Walmart, Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury's, Rewe, Lidl, Kohl's, Target, etc. But a large home textile company came to us and they wanted to replace cotton up to 30% by jute, right? Cottonized jute was an unknown quantity at that point of time because nobody had ever done it, and it was very difficult to do because jute is a brittle fiber. Unlike linen, jute breaks very easily because it is supposed to be run in its long form and not at a 40 mm. We bought from 10 feet, we bought it down to 40 mm. Okay, so the whole structure of the fiber has changed as such. So when we started doing it, we took really some time to get this right. But today, after the first proper commercial run, we have been running at 40% blend up to 90,000 speed on the OE, open end spinning system, and up to 16,000 in the ring spun system. And today, in the last 4 years, the development has happened, at multiple levels. And today we are proud to say that we are probably the only companies in the world to be blending 55% jute in the cotton spinning system. I mean, if I were to tell this to my grandfather, he wouldn't, he will be shocked. To the point that when the first time I told even my father that, look, we blended 30% jute in the cotton spinning system at 90,000 RPM in the open end system. Even he was very shocked until he saw it, himself, and he was like, yeah, this is commendable. So anyone from textile here will understand that cottonizing jute and blending it up to 55% is a monumental achievement in textile industry. Jute is at its inflection point. This pivots the fiber from packaging to apparel, where the margins are better. The use is pretty much into anything, whether it is technical textiles, medical textiles, home textiles, apparel, so on and so forth, even non-woven. Next. So jute is the second largest grown natural fiber in the world, which most people don't know after cotton, and it is abundantly available in India. In fact, India is the largest grower of jute, and the next is Bangladesh. So in this vicinity where we are in Bengal, there is abundant availability, and there are very few people in the world who has better mastery on jute fiber quality and pricing than us. Today we have a capacity of 650 tons per day, so you can imagine how much jute we are buying per day. Next. So like I said, cotton is the most unsustainable fiber in the world. And jute is the most sustainable natural fiber in the world today. Yeah, this is how jute has been earmarked by a lot of large retailers globally. Now, water uses a little over 10,000 liters only to grow cotton, right? And jute is dependent on rainfall. Now, in cotton, you may need drip irrigation and other things, but jute is completely rainfall dependent. The total farmland of the world, cotton grows in about 3% only of the total farmland that is there, right? But 3% of global farmland of cotton uses almost up to 24% of the fertilizers and insecticides and pesticides together. And that depletes the soil each time. However, jute enriches the soil each time. So jute is grown during monsoon in Bengal. Monsoons are heavy here. There are not too many options except for jute and maybe one other crop to grow here. But every time the farmers grow jute, after the harvest, the root that is left inside actually enriches the soil, and the other crops quality and yield are better because of one single jute crop, right? Next. Like I said, construction has already started at Yashoda Linen, the subsidiary unit, and we expect to go into commercial production from March 27. From January 26, we will take the Yajur project post the IPO into we will start it, and we expect to complete it by September. Next. As a group, we are very invested into CSR activities. We have we run and support some primary schools and schools and colleges in West Bengal. We continuously we also have a couple of charitable hospitals, and we support some other hospitals in West Bengal also. Also, we have relief programs during any countrywide emergency or epidemic, like recently we had the COVID situation. So we support midday meal program. About 1,200 adults through 3 or 4 locations we serve, and these are all retired or elderly people. And we also work closely with street children, trying to bring them to with providing them a meal. But the idea behind the providing them a midday meal is to actually bring them, and those 2-3 hours that we take, we teach them different subjects also. And these midday meal programs are during the peak hours, so we try to keep them away from begging and other activities. Cows are very close to my heart, and even at Yajur we have almost close to 35 cows. And we have a lot in total. We have a few thousand cows that the group serves, and we support gaushalas across the country as well. Next. Yeah, these are some of our figures, of FY25 and the current year. Last year, we did a revenue of about 140 crores. In Yajur, this is a consolidated balance sheet. So between Yajur and Yashodas, we did 140 crores. This year, from Yajur point of view, we've done 70 crores in revenue up to November. The PAT is at 11.68 crores last year on 140 crores, and this year it is at 7 crores already from 70 crore revenue. Next. So yes, we are a natural fiber specialist, and the fibers that has been given to us by nature, we have innovated it, and the world is embracing it today. They see the possibility and the potential in natural fibers, which are very, very sustainable. And though we cannot replace 100% polyester or 100% cotton, but blending from anywhere between 10% to 55% does take care of a great deal. And going forward, I think the production of cotton, of jute fiber also will increase significantly as the demand for it increases, in the apparel, wearable, and the home textile sections. I'm open to questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the great presentation. So we will start with the Q&A session now. I request all participants to post your questions in the comment box. So we have first question from Mr. Anil, that what differentiates Yajur from our traditional textile or fiber manufacturer?
So, sir, we are like I said, we are a fiber tech company. We work only with innovating natural fibers, vast fibers like jute, linen, and hemp. And this is very different from any other natural fiber like cotton or man-made fibers like polyester, and regenerated fibers like viscose and other things. We are completely sustainable. We are committed to sustainable fibers only, and we are at the bottom of the food chain also, which helps us in a great deal, because fiber is the first step to any textile industry. Now, textile is not the only place where we sell our fibers. Our fibers are used in non-woven, are used in technical textiles also. It is used in medical textiles also, and similar areas. I hope that answers that question.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. So sorry.
Go on.
No, I will read it out. So next question is from Mr. Bharti, that how does the Kanakya Group give Yajur a competitive edge?
So Kankarya Group today is arguably the largest, or one of the largest producers of jute goods in India, and with a capacity of 650 tons. So you can imagine the amount of jute that we are buying on a daily basis. And this gives us a huge advantage, because even today, from a technology point of view, we are years ahead of anyone doing 55% jute blends. I don't know any other company who's doing 55% jute blends commercially. But even if someone to re-engineer and try to create our product, in the course of the next couple of years, the pricing advantage that we have is unmatchable. Is very difficult to match.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Shubham that since the harvest happens once a year, what steps have the company taken to mitigate the issue experienced in the past?
Absolutely correct. Harvest happens once a year for jute. In linen, the harvest is now started to happen twice a year. So once a year they do what is called as summer flags, but because the demand has increased so much, they have come up with a quality which is as winter flags, right? But after harvest, the capacity of production that they have, it lasts them the whole year. So they are continuously processing and selling. But we as a company also try and store up to 3 months of stock with us, so that mitigates the issues of shorter supply in extreme situations.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Jasprit that how do Yajur leverage Kankaria Group legacy for the future growth?
Um, like I said, it's similar to the previous question, one of the previous questions. Yeah, Kankare Group, our mastery or our know-how, our understanding of jute fiber is tremendous. I've worked in the jute industry for over 20 years, and we completely understand exactly which fiber from which region with which qualities can do what magic in our mix. And yes, from our internal accruals going forward also, the balance phases of Yashoda Linen will be supported from internal accruals. So the group will also come together at that point of time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Arav that how dependent is Yajur on the group entities for a raw material, customers, or operational support?
Yajur is not dependent on the group entities at all. Our buyers are separate. Our buyers are exclusive. The jute that we buy is directly through the market. So we are not dependent on the group other group units for Yajur.
Okay, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Mridul that what is the long-term vision for Yajur beyond fiber yarns, fabrics, or finished products?
Good one. This is a bit far away into the future. Right now, we are looking at yarn. We believe it's a natural extension, and we are very comfortable with producing and selling 100% linen yarns and blended yarns. But maybe in the future, we may delve into fabrics and finished products.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So Mr. Mridul has another question that how do you plan to balance growth with the capital discipline?
We're raising 36 crores out of the issue proceeds. We're putting 36 crores into the working capital. So this should very much streamline our next boost of growth.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. Sir, we have next question from Miss Nisha that please explain the cottonization process and why it creates a strong entry barrier for the competitors.
So if we reflect to the slide where we displayed how we craft perfection, that is actually the process of how jute is cottonized or linen is cottonized. These fibers come in entangled form and in raw form, and to clean it, cut it, staple it, parallelize the fibers for usage, and eventually we get cottonized fibers. If you were to create bleach fibers, then it's a chemical process to whiten the fiber. Entry barrier for competitors, supply know-how. It's a niche market, so cottonizing is a specialized job, right? The difficult part for for a company with little less experience or less knowledge is that these fibers get ruptured very easily. When I say ruptured, it means damage very easily. And on the face of it, you may not get to know, but when you spin the product, you will suddenly realize that the strength of the yarn is missing, or it is not as spinnable as it should be, like that. So those are the technical know-how is quite this thing, and because it's a relatively new industry which has taken off. It's been there for very many years, but it's taken off in the last 5-6 years. companies like us are few who have dwelled well into narrowing the specs in terms of, because these are natural fibers, and I'm not sure if there's another company who gives, who's so transparent about the quality specifications as we are. So yes, tech and fiber purchase pricing is important.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Nishan, that how sticky are your customer relationships, and what is a typical contract or repeat order cycle?
So orders are monthly. Most mills that we work with give us some order, or on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. We have over 150 repeat customers going forward with us. The order sizes have now become bigger. From 500 to 2 tons are usually for our new mills in the pipeline whom we are developing to come into this segment. But the more mature mills are usually full truckloads, which are anywhere between 10 tons to 16 tons each load. Order sizes can vary from 1 truck to even 20 trucks for that matter, which is spread across months. There is no actual system of long-term contracts, except barring few where someone wants to buy a 10 truck or 15 or 12 or 20 truck. But most mills order for 1 month or 2 months in advance.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Subodh, that what percentage of revenue currently comes from cottonized linen, cottonized jute, and blended fibers?
Okay, so about 80 to 85% comes from cottonized linen. The balance comes from cottonized jute and 100% linen yarn. We don't do any blended fibers. We do some blended yarn, but that's part of the 100% linen yarn process. So yes, as far as linen is concerned, cottonized linen is our biggest revenue generator as of today, at about 80 to 85%.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Gogu, that what drove the changes in the capacity utilization over the years?
So capacity utilization, because going up until FY25, a large portion of our capacity utilization was based on the use of linen fiber. Every time there was a change in the linen fiber crop yield, or the quality of the crop, the availability had a direct impact. And that's why we had limitations of how much we could produce, because the availability was low. But the last 2-3 years, linen crop size has also increased multifold in Europe, and now people are more open to even fibers from other countries like Russia and Egypt. So that bandwidth has now increased, and the best thing that we did to safeguard ourselves from this is the introduction of cottonized jute fibers 3-4 years ago, which is now taken shape now, and we're expecting it to grow at a very brisk rate as soon as some of these denim, terry towels, the wearables come into retail shelves globally and domestically.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Nikunj, that how do raw material prices changes affect your margin?
In most cases, 90% of the time, it is passed on to the spinning mill. And thankfully, we live in a very transparent age where prices of fibers and certain reports are available to everyone who is part of the industry. So every time there is a shortage of fiber, or the fiber prices increases because of demand and supply, the principals take care of it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Ms. Sadika, that where do you aim to stabilize leverage after planned capital expenditure?
Sorry, can you explain this question a bit further? Does it mean leverage as in our where do you aim to stabilize leverage after planned capital expenditure? You mean our exposure to working capital, Dhruv? Is that right?
I think it is. She's asking about what is our, planned capacity after the capital expenditure, and what do we, I mean, at what turnover we tend to stabilize.
So we're looking to grow at a similar rate that we have been growing at over the last few years as far as 100% cottonized linen is concerned. The bigger growth will come to us in terms of cottonized jute fibers, which are now at the brink of doing very very large numbers going forward. Yashoda, which is Yashoda Linen, which is the subsidiary of Yajur Fibers, has a huge potential. And out of the 35 acres, we are currently using only about 25% of that land in the first phase. And thereby, we are going to be producing close to 8,000 kgs per day, average of which would be close to 850 to 900 rupees per kg sales. So we're looking good numbers, and the margin there is also great. Yashoda comes with 65 plus percentage of incentive and subsidies, which will further reduce our debts. And same at Yajur as well. Yajur is decently profitable. Next. I hope I have answered the question. If I have not, kindly please, send us another query. Next.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next, please. So we have next question from Mr. Tony, that are the current margins closer to peak or mid-cycle, and what is the sustainable EBITDA margin over the next few years?
So currently, our EBITDA margin up to November this year has been close to about 18%. Up to 25, it was 17%. We are hoping that this is where it is going to, at bare minimum, it should stay, given our automation and other efficiencies that we are improving year on year. The market is also significantly growing, not just in one area of textiles. Like I said, from apparels to home textile to technical textiles, non-woven, diapers, sanitary pads. Sustainable fibers are in demand everywhere. Denim and terry towel, they haven't even started. And to be honest, if denim and terry towel even blends up to 20% into their sustainable drive, to include cottonized jute fiber, the whole cottonized fraternity cannot supply that much fibers.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Raghav, that what share of demand is repeat or contract based, and how does this impact revenue visibility?
Like I said, most of our products are made to order, except for the generic ones which are used day in and day out through the year by companies, domestic or international. There are not really customized quality orders, so to say, except for certain mills where we do absolute color matching and all that also, which comes at a premium cost. And usually this fiber is better sold within a 1 to 2 month market scenario only, because the demand has been such that the prices tend to rise more than it goes down, typically towards the end of the season or mid season.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Shankar, that how do you see the global shift towards sustainable textile impacting demand for cottonized jute and linen?
Great, to be honest, because see, where we are targeting jute fibers to go is at a 20% lower price than cotton, right? That is the advantage of jute. Now we can cottonize jute and sell it at a price lower than cotton. Now, sustainability is a very big thing going globally, yeah, and we are committed to it. However, every time we want to sell a fiber, really, we are at the bottom of the food chain. You would ask me how, we are not really catering with the retailers directly, right? Of course, the retailers recommend us and push us as preferred suppliers because of our compliances and the qualities and the timely deliveries that we do. But our principals, like the ones who are making yarn, and furthermore who are making the fabric or the finished products, they tend to gain more out of the sustainability, from the sustainability angle, because that is they are catering it to directly. But because we are 20% cheaper than cotton today, it makes sense for all cotton mills to blend in even 5% or 10% jute, because it changes nothing. You don't have to change anything about your spinning system. It works seamlessly. You have to change nothing about your dyeing or bleaching facilities. It works absolutely just the same way. So huge potential coming through our way, and fingers crossed we are going to reach 20,000 tons capacity also in the near future. Next,
Okay,
please.
thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Ms. Shreya that what structural tailwind supports a long-term growth for the bast fibers?
Sustainability. These are natural, and sustainability, and the fact that linen, jute, hemp, these are natural fibers. These are bast fibers, one crop a year or two crops a year, and they biodegrade very well. These are ecological. Fibers like jute are naturally pest resistant, so there is hardly any use of fertilizers, insecticides, and all that. And now that we've been able to bring jute to apparel. I think it's a complete game changer going forward.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Mr. Sudeep that do you expect any disruptive technology that could challenge the bast fiber?
Um, I don't envisage any such threat from other fibers, because like when you do a Porter's 5 analysis, and we rely on such tools, on a regular basis. One of them says what is the one of the Porter's 5 forces is what is the other threat, or the other substitute to this fiber. And despite all our discussions, there was only one thing that unanimously came out, that jute is that substitute fiber which is going to replace a lot of linen fibers, a lot of cotton fibers, a lot of polyester fibers into the mix. So yes, if there's going to be any change in technology, it is going to be in cottonization, maybe in the near future. Today, we as a company, we have modified all our machines through a proprietary tech to improve our yields and quality. And as we do so, maybe in the future we will partner with an international giant to maybe take it to a next level. Who knows?
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you, sir. Next question, please. So we have next question from Ms. Arundhati that what proportion of your business is customized and versus standardized products?
So most of products are standardized. We continuously improve the fiber specs and qualities, every quarter or 2 quarters. And we bring that into the foray. So we, educate and bring our principals on board, and we explain to them what we have changed, how we have changed. There are a few mills globally we work in collaboration with very closely, because they are extremely sound technically, and they give us very robust quantitative feedback in terms of the improvements that they are looking for, or targets that they give to us, so that look, Ashish, can you improve a certain aspect of the fiber by so and so much percentage, right? And because these companies give such sound feedback, we love to work with them. And hence our products are more or less standardized, because we are almost each year we are the trendsetters in terms of the quality benchmark in this industry. Next question, please. Omkar, I can't hear you. Sorry for the technical glitch. I still can't hear. Should I take the next question? Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thanks. Um, The next question is from Ms. Payal. How scalable is the current production technology without compromising quality consistency? Oh, extremely scalable. Um, certain modifications that we have done, and we've increased our productivity with all the automation has also increased the productivity. So yes, it's only a matter of creating that space, installing those machines, and taking it forward. And as the demand grows, we will be ready to meet the expectation. Next question is from Mr. Rishabh. Can you please explain again how the operations of Yajur and Yashoda are different and how both cater to the same end customer? Yeah, interesting question. So Yajur does cottonized fibers. Yashoda is doing one part of Yashoda is doing blended yarn, which is blending cotton or viscose with linen or jute fibers, right? Because these are the main big markets. So that is how Yajur would supply those fibers to Yashoda, and the balanced cotton or viscose fiber is available locally in close proximity to our unit in Madhya Pradesh, right? And Yashoda is also going to do 100% linen 100% linen yarn. The byproducts of that process will be sent to Yajur, and it can be cottonized. So that's how the synergy is met and creates a full circular economy as far as Yajur and Yashoda, the linen business, is concerned. And the yarns are used by weavers. So a lot of weavers even today use 100% linen yarn and linen blended yarn, or jute blended yarn for that matter.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So there was some technical glitch.
Okay. So how scalable, Mr. Rohan says, how scalable is the business beyond India? Do you plan overseas manufacturing? The demand in companies which are heavy into textile, practically, there is some sort of textile activity going on pretty much in all the countries globally, at least the developing and the developed countries. So that is a direct market for us. We don't intend to plan to set up a manufacturing facility overseas. We have better control and better efficiencies in India. We're much cheaper. Labor is much cheaper in India than compared to Europe or even China for that matter. To expand our business beyond India, we are now entering the China market, which we had not entered so far yet. Right. Next question, Mr. Omkar.
So I think we have covered most of the questions. Yeah. Uh, just, give me a 2 minutes. See, we have one question from Mr. Shubham that what are the reasons for increase in realization? Is the raw material prices passed through?
Increase in realization. Like I said, automation has played a very huge role for us, and also our purchase planning in terms of fiber. Both have resulted in higher realizations.
Okay. And another question from Mr. Anil that who can be the right competition for Yajur if there is any unlisted peer?
So no listed peers. Our main competition is from cottonizing mills in Europe for linen fiber. For jute fiber, I don't envisage, or I don't see any competition, so to say. In the local space, there are some small cottonizing units in India. Some have started and closed shop also. Companies like Syntex and Grasim, they also cottonize, their fibers to some extent, and yet they buy a lot of fibers from us also, purely because of how good we are in this sector.
So Mr. Neeraj is asking how easy for Yajur to scale jute, hemp, yarn, or other products beyond the cottonized flax.
At this point of time, sir, we are only looking to go up to yarn stage, and it is extremely easy for us to scale to yarn age because we have a good know-how of cotton spinning. We were into cotton spinning earlier. Pradeep, who is the whole-time director, was at leadership positions in companies like Vardhaman and Trident. Our team is very are very qualified. Most of our professionals are B.Tech or M.Tech, and at this point of time, fiber and yarn is what we are looking at as far as these bast fibers are concerned.
I think we have taken this question already. Okay. So now I think, sir, we have covered most of the questions. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you Ashish sir. Thank you Dhruv. Thank you Rajesh sir. Thank you all the investors for joining us today.
Thank you so much for organizing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.